Before we get mired in the complexities of human social life, let's start at a simpler beginning. Because humans are an animal species, we can learn a lot about ourselves by studying other animals and even plants, as we'll see in the next chapter. In fact, it can be especially useful to study other species because we have fewer preconceptions about them. Think of it as a training wheels exercise, if you will. In this chapter, we're going to take a quick look at two animal behaviors that are hard to decipher. In each case, the animals appear to be doing something simple and straightforward, but as we dig below the surface, the same way we'll approach our own behavior in later chapters, we'll find extra layers of complexity. Note, however, that these non-human animals don't necessarily hide their motives like we do psychologically. If their motives seem cryptic, it's not because they're playing mind games. We'll discuss this in more detail at the end of the chapter. Social grooming. Let's start with grooming behavior among primates. While humans are relatively hairless, most other primates have thick fur all over their bodies. When left unchecked, this fur quickly becomes matted with dirt and debris. It also makes an attractive home for fleas, lice, ticks, and other parasites. As a result, primate fur needs periodic grooming to stay clean. Individual primates can and do groom themselves, but they can only effectively groom about half their bodies. They can't easily groom their own backs, faces, and heads. So to keep their entire bodies clean, they need a little help from their friends. This is called social grooming. Picture two male chimpanzees engaged in an act of social grooming. One chimp, the groomee, sits hunched over, exposing his full backside. The other chimp, the groomer, crawls up and begins examining the first chimp's fur. He'll typically spend a few minutes scratching and picking at it with his fingers, using his opposable thumbs to pull out bits of stray matter. It's a purposeful activity that requires a good deal of attention and focus. If we could somehow ask the grooming chimp what he's doing, he might give a pragmatic explanation. "I'm trying to remove these bits and pieces from my friend's back." That's the purpose of the activity and what his attention is focused on. He might also cite the logic of straightforward reciprocity. If I groom my friend's back, he's more likely to groom mine in return. Which is true. Chimps form mutual grooming partnerships that are relatively stable over the course of their lives. At first blush, then, social grooming seems like an act of hygiene, a way to keep one's fur clean. This is far from the complete picture, however. We can't take social grooming at face value. There are some puzzling facts that cast doubt on the simple hygienic function.